May profits be upon you. Welcome to another weekly Forex forecast. We're looking at the US dollar. The US dollar. Again, I am really expecting some big moves over the next couple of weeks in the Forex markets. All right. Starting with the US dollar. All right. The US dollar, you saw before I even get to that, this is the week ahead on the economic calendar. Nothing happening on Monday and Tuesday. No news drivers. So this market is a little bit less predictable. Uh, if you're going to trade it, um, there's going to be less participants, so less news drivers, and it makes the markets less. They won't. There's a chance that there's a lot of potential for your normal setups that normally work not to work. You understand? All right. They can work out sometimes for sure. All right. But without news drivers in it, it's hard to trust. It's harder to trust the markets. All right. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, big news. We got the core CPI for the US dollar. The Canadian dollar has interest rate decision to make on the same Wednesday. And Thursday comes the ECB, and they're going to make their interest rate decision. All right. US dollar, core PPI, that's produces price index. Okay, so the inflation in the US, that looks to it's rising. It's a little hotter than expected. Uh, US dollar is gaining strength. The yields on treasury bonds moving up higher. All of that is a headwind to the equity markets. It's also a headwind to the precious metals. All right. Uh, if the, if the U.S. dollar is gaining strength, you want to trade those other markets um, accordingly. All right. But the biggest impact will be against its counterparts, the currency counterparts like the euro, the pound, the New Zealand dollar, the Canadian dollar, the Japanese yen, and I said the pound, didn't I? Yeah, the pound and the euro. Uh, who did I forget? I know I forgot somebody. Aussie dollar. Thank you, Aussie dollar. All right, can't forget Aussie dollar. All right, so yeah, you want to trade those accordingly. They're going to be going down if the U.S. dollar is going up. Period. Some are going to move a little better than others, but this is a market that you want to be in over the next couple of weeks. Now, let me show you something. On the monthly, you can see that we're looking at the monthly time frame up here. All right, and uh, we're in a ascending channel, an ascending channel. This is the support line. The bottom line is, and the top line is the resistance line. And you can see we're making higher highs and higher lows where the lows are being respected, all right, and the highs are being disrespected. Bullish breaker market structure. Bullish breaker market structure. You understand? That's all bullish. All right. Until this low is taken out, we're still bullish. Even though this is doing all of this, we're still bullish. All right. In the very big macro sense of the word. All right. Looking at the monthly, I'm talking about the big time frames, the huge upper, higher, middle, higher time frames. All right. What we can see is from this low to this high is a higher low, higher high, higher low. All right, we're making higher highs, higher lows, higher highs. This is the potential higher low for the next higher high. That's all. That's all there is to it. All right. Now we see how the market has been moving here for over a year, moving sideways, right? But we're at the support line of this ascending channel. So I am definitely been looking for the markets to finally move higher. With this last move down to sweep these lows, and then that led to a break of market structure here. That is a bullish move. All right. And from that point on, I'm looking at any movement down to be a pullback, and I'm waiting for it to end to get in at the best time. Okay. That's all. All right. Now, what I want you to see is these markings here. This is these are an imbalance. The market has yet to rebalance that which is imbalanced. All right. There's two separate uh bearish fair value gaps here. Let me get the right color on that. All right. One there and another one up here. Right. I just put them together. That's all. Top line, bottom line. This area here is an imbalance that has to be rebalanced. And I'm looking for the market to pull up into that, pull back down, react to it, and then continue and eventually break it. That is what I envision happening. All right. Let's look at the weekly. I keep saying all right. It's driving me crazy. I know it's got to be driving you crazy. I got this from last week. All right. So bullish, but it's not the strongest bullish arrow. But now, yeah, that let's make it bold and green. All right. Green and bold. All right. I think we are going to be drawn up to this internal liquidity up here, this imbalance. I think that's going to be the draw on liquidity for the next few weeks. All right, that's just my assessment of it. And the fact that we have a bullish breaker market structure and price failed to break this low, all right, from up here, that makes this a weak low, folks. That make a weak high, a weak high. Just like in the Euro USD video that I just put out right here. Big moves expected in forex markets. All right. Just like I said in that video, go check that video out. I just put it out there about 10 minutes ago. All right. There was a weak low there. And I said weak lows are going to get targeted for liquidity, liquidation. This weak high, which failed to make a new low, get out of here, man. Failed to get past that low. This is a swing fail, in my opinion. I think that it'll be the next target. That's why I got a target on it. Yeah, it'll be our next target for liquidation. Okay. Now, as you can see, there's also for all of you traditional traders out there, this low swept that low. All right. So what we have here is a low, a lower low, and a higher low. All right. Uh, this is an inverted head and shoulders, and that is a bullish trading pattern for all you traditional traders out there. But I'm looking at this breaker market structure here, and this failure to pull back and make a new low. This is only a pullback. It's not a reversal. So I'm looking for the market to continue to make a higher high and then the next higher low. All right. So also want you to look at this bullish uh, weekly candle here. This is the weekly time frame now. All right. See how the market closed last week? Very aggressive, very strong. But why did it make this move? Where did it make the move from? Aha! Look at this. Look at that bullish weekly fair value gap that I pointed out over the last couple of weeks. I said, this is going to hold. When it was forming here, I said, I'm looking for the market to tap this and see how, give us the reaction. It gave us this reaction, came down in a quick recovery. And I said, I'm looking for the market to continue higher to trade towards those highs. Well, it exceeded that, didn't it? And it closed very bullishly. I'm looking for the next candle to open, give a wick back towards these highs here, a wick, and then the market to continue up higher, just like that. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the market to reach up to these highs here, these highs here. All right, if we go down to the daily, you can see the biggest move happened on Friday, right? And because it happened at the end of the week, the next week, I'm looking for the beginning of that week to spend in pullback mode. All right. Possibly to the midpoint of this ascending channel that I got here. All right. I'm looking for the market to possibly come back and touch the middle of this, the mean, revert to the mean and then push higher from here. Look at this. I want you to see after the high was made and we saw the market move down, make that low, that lower low, that lower low, lower low, and then the higher high. That is our buy model. All right, that is our buy model. And we wait for the market to pull back to where we see an entry on a lower time frame to catch the move higher. All right, this is the pullback, and that's all we're looking for. Now, there is a way to measure to see if this high is going to be on the table for a target. All right, see what I got here. This is I'll just say start it from here. This is Fibonacci's, all right, the Fibonacci's. But I'm looking to test to measure the this last bearish leg. Whoops, what did I do here? This last bearish leg here. All right, from this high to this low, and then the break of market structure taking out that high. I'm looking for this leg to be measured. Right now, you can see there are some bullish candles inside here, so I'm looking at this section right here. All right. Once the low was made and then we started to close above it, I'm looking for this to act as my change in the state of delivery. All right. Now, you can measure it however you like. I like to go with a bearish candle. All right. So here I'm going to from the low to the top here. Right. Here is the a 1-to-1 deviation. I'm measuring deviation. Here's a 2. All right. Once you reach the 2, that's a great target from here. But you want to see if it's going to that 2.5, all right, 2.5. All right. Why? Because if it reaches the 2.5 and we're just shy of it, but I'm sure we're going to hit it, then the 4 becomes my next target. And that is just below where that imbalance starts that I showed you on the higher time frames. This is where I would want to take profits because I expect a reaction once we get here. Once the market pushes up into that, I'm looking for a reaction back, a pullback for another start to another impulsive move higher into this imbalance. All right. So I'm measuring by way of deviations. All right. Now, this low to high to that low, some people will take that high and put the deviation, the top of the deviation to 0 there, right? From 1 to 0, and then they can go on the way up, and that brings us up into that way up into that imbalance. You can do that if you like, but I like the fact that this range from that low, from that high to this low to the new high, to the higher high. I like I like to measure that myself, and that would put us at 2 right up in here. All right, but you decide. All right, what is the correct way to do it? Um, I just use it as a guide. So anyway, I got a strong green on that, and I'm looking for the market to move up into that. And again, let me I'm sorry to do all this shifting around. Look at this. I want you to see that do I have a note on the 4 hour? Let me check that first. You see how Friday's move happened right around 8 o'clock in the morning, and that it stayed up there. I'm looking for the market to come back and test these highs here. This whole area here, it looks like the area for the market to come back and test. We have the midpoint of the means of the ascending channel. I like the market to come back and test that middle area here for a move higher. This is going to be the entry point, and that's where you want to take your shorts. I'm saying shorts, and I'm saying shorts, even though it's a long on the U.S. dollar, on the U.S. dollar index. It's a short on the Euro USD, the Pound USD, the Aussie Dollar USD, the New Zealand Dollar USD. You understand? Take your shorts there because you're not trading the U.S. dollar index. All right, you're trading those pairs. So that's what I'm talking about. All right. And in the US dollar, CAD, the US dollar Swiss, the US dollar JPY, that's when you want to take your longs. When it pulls back, sorry, when it pulls back into this into this area right here. All right, that would be right around 99.24, between 99.24 and 99.5. Got it? Good, because I think that's going to sync up really well with the next impulsive move to the upside. All right. Do you notice that there was a volume imbalance here? All right, that the market fought to get past, finally gave a reaction to it, and then we closed above it. This is this will also act as support if the market pulls back into it. I'm looking for a wick to touch that, and then we move up on higher. All right, like an inverted fair value gap. You understand? That all these wicks up here, all of this area, this whole area there, is I think is going to serve as a great area to expect a reaction. You understand? I hope you do, because I'm looking for something like this. All right, that's it. It's that simple. I want to keep it simple. Got too many lines on this doggone thing, to say it's to keep people from being confused. But I'm hoping that I'm hoping that you see exactly what I said. You understand what I was saying, all right? And you can see through all the little lines and stuff. Okay, I'm going to move on to the next pair. I'm going to be analyzing the pound USD cable on the next video. I hope you enjoyed this one. And make sure you go back and check the one I did on the Euro USD. Very, very important. Okay, I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching. May profits be upon you.